Hello everyone, I'm Chestic44, also known as Phalai, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. Last episode, we finished up the few quests that we had to take care of over in Heritage Hill. After that, we went back to Caed Nua to rest and recover a little bit, and as we did, we ended up getting a bit of a vision and spoke with Durance for a while, where he revealed that he was one of the people who built the Godhammer bomb that took out Eothas during Widewind's War. With all that handled, now there isn't much else for us to do. We have all the personal quests with each individual person, and we have the Endless Paths, if we really wish to try and go through that. We got the cave for Fergus Vision, but we don't know where it is, but I'm sure we'll be able to find it eventually. And aside from that, we have two options. Either A, continue on with the main storyline, or B, make the ultimate choice of who we're going to ally with in Defiance Bay. The Dozens or the Knights of the Crucible. I think I'm going to pass on that until I absolutely have to for now. So, instead, we'll go continue on the main quest instead. For that, we need to go into Copper Lane, head into the catacombs, and head over to Wodika's Shrine. Security reports that shades and forest lurkers will attack the stronghold.
So you will go to your king and what? Implore him to curb his violent impulses? At the word of a heroic academic?
You don't usually grace me with your flattery, priest. What merits this attention?
All Rauatai's history is war, same as everyone. If only the world were led by soft-hearted giants
we already
who waste their
heard
muscles
this one once
stroking
before.
their own quills. Oh, wouldn't that be grand?
I'm content to remain a burr in your boots. But here, if you but stand on the docks, you can single-handedly ensure no one ever sails to the Deerwood again.
Anyway, so, okay, the curio shop was constructed. We can do something about that. And security reports that shades and forest lurkers will attack the stronghold in 4 days. So we can resolve the attack. Let's start construction on... Oof, we're close there. Oh god, chapel would actually bring us above that. So let's not build the chapel yet. Let's build the south curtain wall. We'll get that constructed, but if we choose manual resolve, you must travel to Caed Nua to participate in the defense. Okay then, back to Caed Nua. Alright, so this is something we'll have to resolve. Indeed. Although, since we do also have the curio shop, you know what, let's take a look in the curio shop first, and then we'll resolve the issue that's about to happen. That's something we can do. Hello, Gold-Packed Knight. You'll help. Lizard skins, knuckle bones, and teeth of various sizes lie among the weeds. Let's see. Essence shimmers within these bottles. Dozens of spider legs protrude from the necks of these bottles.
Gods keep you.
It's good to see you, my lord. I have all manner of odds and ends here, acquired from every corner of the Deerwood. Spider venom, scolder ears, anything you might wish. Let's see what you got. Okay, you've got various ingredients for upgrading things, which, now that I think about it, we actually probably should. Especially you, Durance. I cannot improve you anymore. That does kind of suck. What about your Saint's War Armor? You, I can actually improve. Yeah, go ahead, enchant that. That's actually something we can work on. And you... Oh, you're actually... Really? You've done damage to changed enemies. Okay, we'll keep going. You will get those improved. I don't know which will happen first, but one of them will. Anyway, let's take care of this assault that's going to happen to us in a moment. This will take just a second to get through the loading. Now then, we could auto-resolve, but no, manual resolve. Oh, hi! The fight has already begun. Get my men in, help out with this fight.
That's not very good.
Do what you can here. Provide... Oh, jeez. Oh, that cleric was slain. That's definitely not good.
Following your lead.
Okay, we've got more skeletons coming in. You need to do some castings here. That's actually going to be a good thing. Cast it, get it on all of them. Doing what damage we can, but it looks like some of our guards did kind of take damage from all this. Okay, one of the spirits has been handled. Okay, finish off the Shade and the other Forest Lurker. I think we're going to need to rehire some people.
Let's go.
Now the Forest Lurker. Finish it off, quickly. I think we lost most of our guards. Oof. Well, they were slain. But we lost some guys. That didn't go well. Alright, let me take a look here. We've only got one. The Vanguard soldier's the only one who lived. Alright, get the Valiant Shock Mage, get the Gold Pack Knight, and get the Barathite Cleric. Okay, we're gonna need to hire the rest of these guys, or this is gonna be a problem. Get the Archer. An Archer would certainly help. The Warden of the Wilds would probably be very good. That's extra security. Mercenary Mind Striker, I don't think we'll try for. I feel like the Rawatai Linebreaker might prove useful, so go ahead with him. A lot more security, and... I guess a Blooded Thug might not be the worst thing. Hire him. Okay.
Sure.
That definitely could have gone a lot better. On the plus side, construction on the South Curtain Wall has begun. Still haven't finished that. Alright. Can we loot anything out of here? Because I think... Yeah, it's just the treasury. I think eventually things will come out of there. Do we have anyone in the barracks just hanging around? The answer appears to be no. Okay. Let's get out of here. That could have gone a lot better. And honestly, with now a good portion of time gone by, maybe we shouldn't go to continue on with the main storyline because of it. Look, it was something we had to handle.
Keeps coming along nicely.
There's the Skirmish Archer. Everything seems to be in order. And he has a Lion Companion. Very interesting. I wonder if the other people are wandering around here, or where they may be. Maybe they're guards in various places? It would be interesting. I honestly just want to do a quick walk around. There's the Barathite Cleric outside the chapel, which makes sense. I'm sorry the last one had happened to pass away. I wish that hadn't happened. If I could have saved him, I would have. If I could have saved everyone, I would have. But they gave their lives to make sure that we all stayed alive and that the whole keep was fine. It would have been bad if it didn't work out. Oh, hold on. There's things to pick up. Go ahead, pick them up. There we go. I honestly don't know if anyone else is around here. Eventually I'll have to get that fixed up. There's the Warden of the Wilds and the Bloodied Thug. Okay, Warden of the Wilds just provides protection and the like. Waiting on your orders, milady. Fair enough. And there's the Bloodied Thug, just hanging out by the, hedge maze. I'm sure you'll be very useful. Don't know where the other people are. I know the Valiant Shock Mage is going to be inside our keep. And the remaining two, I don't know. They must be somewhere. I don't know where. Alright, and obviously they did not order where they were standing well at the beginning. I think the Shock Mage was right in the middle of all the fighting. That's not where the mage is supposed to be! You fools! You foolish fools! Okay. We're not going to go ahead and start the whole thing. Instead, I think maybe we'll have to do a little bit of a talk about things. Because, as I said, what we ultimately need to do is make our choice between whether we're going to join the Dozens, House Domenel, or the Crucible Knights. Now, House Domenel, they're basically the Thieves Guild, they're the criminal organization. We're not going to be joining them, without a doubt. However, the Dozens and the Crucible Knights, that's the question. The Crucible Knights have been doing what they can in order to try and keep everything together, keep everyone together, and keep all going well. That's fine, and it makes perfect sense. It's understandable why you'd want to keep everyone organized and everything. You have an organization, a legally made organization, that may not be legitimate knights, but they're working to keep things together. Unfortunately, they're losing a bit of the vision of how they used to be and how they originally started, and because of that, they're becoming a bit more noble-focused, which isn't necessarily the best thing. Now, the Dozens, they care more about the individual people, the regular person that you find on the street. They care more about that and don't like how high and mighty the Knights are getting. But on the other hand, they're also kind of becoming thugs in a way, which isn't necessarily the best thing. And something that needs to be dealt with and handled at some point. And that's kind of a problem. They got the moral high ground. They're just not going at it the right way. And while I can support the Knights who are just having the problem in that they don't have enough people, and that's why they're not solving issues, the fact that they're looking into animancy, that's a whole other thing. Okay, so now we need to get into the whole discussion on animancy, which is the studying of the soul and manipulating it and all that sort of stuff. Now, the studying of the soul and understanding it, that makes perfect sense. They actually have souls. It is a legitimate thing that you can study and look at and try to figure out. It makes sense. You'd want to know that. And I can understand that. It's perfectly fine that you want to understand that. And as I've said, it's helped out with things with the knowledge they've done. They've learned how souls work and managed to use it to help people. However, it's still in the experimental stages of things, and the experiments are in a more questionable area, because the only way you can perform the experiments is by performing them on living people, which is a bit of a huge questionable thing. The knowledge you gain from this kind of thing is pretty much invaluable. But the methods are very questionable and concerning. Some of the animancers are even doing absolutely terrible things. The results and rewards are definitely wonderful to have, but the experiments, they might be considered inhumane in some ways. And I'll be honest, I'm reminded of something that, oh god, it's horrible that I'm going to bring it up, but how shall I put this? There was a very hated and absolutely horrible, and everyone agrees is definitely villainous, group of people around, at this point, I'd say 80-ish years ago, who did absolutely terrible and inhumane experiments on people that effectively tortured and killed them. But the information that was pulled out of it, once people gained the information, once people stopped them and found the results of those experiments, has been invaluable to the medical community. Thousands of people died, but the end result was that millions of lives have been able to be saved through the information that was gained. This is me saying what it was without actually saying any names, but it's kind of at that point. We're in that state where people are doing horrible, horrible things to some people in the name of getting invaluable knowledge. And we've got these two sides where the Crucible Knights are actually standing there and going, yeah, we need to do this in order to get this valuable information that will help out immensely. While the Dozens are on the side of, you people are torturing and killing people in the name of these experiments, even if you gain knowledge. How can you live with yourselves? Which also connects to the whole thing with Widewind's legacy going on. The Animancers are trying various experiments to figure out how to solve that, to figure out why that all these children are being born without souls, and they're trying to figure out ways to solve that. The whole issue of putting animal souls into the people is an attempt to solve it. One that unfortunately didn't really work. And because of that, we have the problem where the scientists, or the Animancers, did an experiment that failed horribly, and it's being seen as they are the horrible people who did horrible things, even if they had the best of intentions. It was an attempt to solve the issue that went wrong. Even if they were trying to do the right thing, it just didn't work out, and this is a whole moral and technical thing, and it's a big question that would bring up a lot of questions on where you stand on all this and where you want to be on all of this. All these questions can bring up a whole lot of revealing of what a person is like, on where they stand on all of this. Even in trying to choose a side, it's, what are you going to do? Do you support the Knights, who are becoming more noble and such, who also stand for the Animancers and potential scientific advancement, or do you stand on the side of the Dozens, who stand for thinking about the individual person and the common man, and also are against this, and against what is effectively torture and scientific experiments that kill people or worse? This is a really difficult choice, and it's hard to say who I'd want to support. If I had the option, I'd just keep myself completely separate from this whole thing and just let this all play out. Go with what we go. Because I myself, I'm a very go-with-the-flow kind of person. There's not much in the way of politics and this sort of thing that I do tend to really stand for and stand on. Because it's a whole fight, and I'm often on the neutral side, on the center, and looking at these things and say there's good and bad things on both sides, good and bad people on both sides. It's hard to choose one definitely good side. The last time there's really been a very definitive, this group is evil, that has been universally agreed on. Well, okay, actually, it's a lot sooner than I thought, but I'd say probably the most recent would probably be 20 years ago. At least as far as America's concerned. And before that was, again, like 80 years ago. At least as far as I can remember. I've never been that great with history. So, if I could, I would stay separate from this, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to eventually choose a side. And I am not looking forward to that, but I may have to choose a side very soon. Will I choose the Knights or the Dozens? I think the last time I played this game ages ago, I ended up with the Dozens, if only because I kind of had to choose a side and I just picked them. I may end up trying to go with the Knights to try and at least go to them and say, listen, This whole experiment you're doing with infusing souls into metal suits to make effectively golems, that's probably going to end very badly, so hold off on that before anything goes really wrong. If I can at least do that, that might be a good thing. As for the whole Animancy debacle, oh god, there need to be some restrictions and controls, but at the same time, they need to be able to try and figure out this whole thing. It is a big, big issue. And I'm not really sure where I stand on all of it. Ultimately, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to choose a side just for the sake of choosing a side. Not necessarily because I fully believe in it, or fully stand on that side. It's just, I'm put up against a wall and have to pick a side, which I absolutely hate. There's always neutral grounds. There's always a gray area. There's always a zone in the middle that you can try and decide to pick. It's hard to say. It's hard to just go, you're with us or against us. I mean, no, it's easy to go, you're with us or against us, but that is just not the way to go with anything. And I hate it. I'm going to hold off on picking a side at the moment. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the group over to Copper Lane so we're not interrupted again. And we're going to get ready to go down and deal with continuing the main quest until we end up having to choose a side. I'm probably going to go with the Knights, if only because I haven't chosen it before, and it'll be a new experience, and we have to choose a side. But we'll make that decision when it comes to it. Is there anything else to go on? You're still working on this. How long does this take? How long is a turn, even? I honestly don't know. Construction is continuing. 2 more days, 5 hours for the South Curtain Wall, which will give us a lot more security, and we'll be able to upgrade a whole bunch of other things. Maybe the towers. No, I'm going to probably focus on the chapel and then the towers. I don't know. I'll figure this all out eventually. Anyway. Yes, do tell me how long a turn is, Zengriff. I see you in the chat. Thank you. That said, I think we're probably going to end this episode here. Next episode, we'll head down into the catacombs and continue on the main quest line. Completed a quest? I've completed several. We'll head down into the catacombs and continue on with this quest going into the Temple of Wodica and see if we can learn something there. But that'll be in the next episode. So, until then, I am Chestroke44, also known as Phalai. That is Laniara, Adair, Durance, Aloth, Kana, and Sagani. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time.